7:45, what is it, Thursday? So a lot of us are turning to science for a little fun these days, not to mention, obviously, we're trying to learn something. With me now is Timo Bach, the host of Science in Real Life. This is full disclosure. You and I go way back.
You do, a little bit, Johnny. I think I was interning on a show that you were testing for in Chicago, and you were the sweetest person, I must say, Johnny. I know a bunch of people in media, and nobody has such a good reputation as you do. You're
so
sweet and gorgeous as well.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to clip that and put it on my resume. You're awesome, Tim, because I knew you, back in Chicago when you were an intern on a TV show, and you are a smart kid. You have a great on-air persona, and you kind of stumbled upon TikTok fame, if you will, doing these awesome science videos. You've got more than 300,000 followers. Tell us about it. You know, what is your background in science?
Yeah, so my background is actually in communication research. So I was on teams in college where I was kind of the media and communication researcher, paired with biologists and chemists and all different types of people. And we focused mainly in environmental research. So my team went to the Arctic archipelago in Canada, and they took like these big ships all around charting climate change and things like that. And then my job was kind of how to transfer that into getting the word out so that regular people could understand. And that has always been my passion. So while I was working in morning TV, I started just posting videos for fun about science and communicating the work I was reading in these complex science journals into simple language for kids and families to understand. And it blew up, Jenny. It shows you if you have a passion for something, the good Lord will see you through.
And, well, you're not lying, because I've been following you on Instagram and social, and I used to do like celebrity videos, and then I saw you like creating different set backgrounds, and so you've really hustled. So for people watching, I mean, just do something you love, and then boom.
Yeah, I'm in the basement of my parents' house, and the set costs like $100 to make. So if I can do it, I guarantee you anybody else can.
Now, we're here to talk about science in real life. So we're going to talk about, you have some fire experiments we're going to do and how to put fire out.
Yes, I heard you guys are having some difficulties with fires. And for me, you're really scared of stuff until you understand it. So I thought if we better understand how fire works, then we can sleep a little bit easier there in San Diego. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, walk us through it.
Wonderful.
I'm going to give you the stage.
So fire is actually really simple, guys. It's just a chemical reaction that we call, it's a subset of chemical reactions we call combustion. Really cool. And it really requires three basic things to work. Number one, heat. Number two, a fuel source that gets heat up. And number three, oxygen to kind of mix in with that fuel source and fire, right? And so what's really cool about this, though, is if you remove any one of those three variables, the fire will be extinguished, right? Now, one additional thing here, I just want to show you how the fire actually goes. It's a little triangle, right? The fire triangle, right? And so what happens is the fuel source gets heated up, and it releases a gas. And that gas mixes with the oxygen, and then we have some fire. All right. So knowing that, I thought it would be fun to go through three really quick demonstrations and remove one of each of those variables to see how the fire reacts. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, let's do it.
Wonderful. So our first one is we're going to try to remove the oxygen from the equation. Okay. So Johnny, how do you think what would we have to do to get the oxygen removed?
You're stressing me out. I don't know, put a towel over it. You got, close it.
Good idea. What we have to do is we have to remove the oxygen. We have to replace the air around the fire with gases that are not oxygen. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some CO2. We've all seen baking soda and vinegar before, right? It's like the most basic science demonstration. We've all seen this. Yeah. And the reason why it's so cool is because what's being released here, the bubbling that's happening, it's gases being released, and that gas is CO2, carbon dioxide. What we know about carbon dioxide is it's really good at smothering fires. And because carbon dioxide is a little bit heavier than many of the other gases, this container here, I'm not going to move too much. I love to move, but we don't want to disrupt it. This container has now been filled, from the mix of gases in our regular air. So oxygen, nitrogen, CO2, whatever, all mixed in here. Now it's pretty close to pure CO2. So if we dump this, we can literally dump the carbon dioxide, and like magic, the fire went out. Okay. Isn't that crazy?
There you go. And you've got two other ways to do it as well.
Yes. So now let's do an experiment that shows if we remove the fuel source itself. And so remember how we talked about the fuel source, when it gets heated up, it releases a gas? Yeah. So what we can do is we can remove the gas, we can remove the fuel source by diluting the gas that's being released from the fire. We will just light this one up. All right. And so we can do that just by blowing. Because when we blow, we dilute the gas, right? And it prevents a fuel source from being there. So even though we have oxygen, even though we have heat, there isn't enough of that concentrated gas, the fuel source being let off from the candle. So blowing's boring. So I thought we could do is make a little air cannon here. Ooh. So it's simple by just taking a water bottle and cutting the back off of it. And then taking a balloon and cutting it like halfway through right here, just halfway, and then sticking it on the back. And because this is TV magic, it's finished. And what you can do here is just push, Oh, I guess it's done. Anyways, how silly of me. Look at that. It pulled off.
That's okay.
Point is, you would be able to do that and it would blow out.
It would blow out. I gotcha. Hey, this is live TV.
For today is going to be the last part, which is heat. And we're going to remove heat from the equation. And so to remove heat, we do this all the time. What do you pour on house fires when a house is on fire? Johnny, what do the fire people come up and roll up and spray on it?
Water.
Water, yes. Because it cools down the fire. So what you can do is actually a really fun experiment. You can take a water bottle and you can poke a hole in the bottom of the water bottle. And a little will drip out. But after that, see how it's not dripping here? I can squeeze and it'll drip out. Yeah. Right? And that's because water molecules like to stick together and they like to create a little scab over that tiny little pinhole. It's called surface tension. And if we unscrew the lid, it'll be enough pressure that the water will come out and we can extinguish the fire.
Oh.
Ooh, did you hear that nice juiciness? And if we put it in, the surface tension will prevent it. It's also really fun. You can walk around a family barbecue or whatever and spray the family. Nobody will ever know who it is. So in summary, Jenny, this is really fun because fire is a simple chemical reaction that consists of 3 variables to make it happen, which is heat, an energy source, and oxygen. And as we saw today, if you remove any one of those 3 different variables, you can extinguish the fire.
I love watching you and listening to you. You're so much fun. This is why you have all these followers now. We have to wrap, but I do want to say you're offering some science camps. You have a science kit subscription box. Tell us about that. I think there's a promo code for our viewers. Where can people find you?
So what I do is, here's the thing, Johnny. I realize in the age of COVID, it is so important to keep kids getting hands-on science research. My team and I have been working since the start of COVID to get these boxes out, all right? I have a team of 6 full-time people helping us get these out. We're creating science camps, not kits, camps, where we send 8 to 15 demonstrations. Our first box is released in December of 2020. It's coming up here. Pre-order right now at scienceirl.shop and use code CBS8 for 10% off. You'll get 10% off. And what we do is we create this curriculum. It's not just random experiments. How today we taught you a whole curriculum. Our first one's going to be on moon landings. And we're talking about the history of moon landings leading up to that first landing and all the science elements in between. Your kids will get to do the exact science NASA scientists were doing 60, 70 years ago as they were developing the moon landing.
I love it. Timo, Bach, tell everyone how old you are, because you are a youngin', and look at what you're doing.
Yeah, I just turned 23. So I graduated undergraduate in 3 years and then have been working here professionally now for a solid 2 years in media.
You're smart. You're great on camera. Wish you continued success.
Thank you, Jenny.
See you soon.
Yay.
Bye.
So good. How do I